On this episode of Lapeef Let's Talk,
Place them
you would
because
have more marriages.
I'm
Listen,
saying I'm not saying men
all across the
placing them
board, the
because
country will
men
be
could
a better
replace them, they
place.
would.
It would be a
I'm
better
saying
place.
if women were completely out of the workforce, period.
Better.
I'm gonna say this to you, Kayla. The reason that
Okay.
you having problems in these relationships and problems in these households is because these women is taking these masculine jobs, and by default they're become masculine. Like I said, look, I didn't see this with my own eyes. And I don't blame the women because in the jobs that they're in, they have to become masculine. You can't have these guys that can lift all this weight, that can shoot far, that can run fast, and you in charge of them, and then you can't meet that standard. So in a way, that changes that woman. That woman will start picking up these masculine attributes, and therefore, it's not a masculine on and off switch you can cut off. Even out with the politics, it goes so much along into that, but I didn't deploy to Afghanistan with a woman commander, and that was probably one of the worst experiences I ever had. Not because she wasn't intelligent, it wasn't something like that. It's just that for some reason she lacks just that ability to just make that quick gut decision, and you will see it so much, and then other times she'll come and she'll just make emotional decisions. She'll just punt. I mean, it's crazy. You can look at it's like papers that's out on that exact same thing. That's why you'll see that in most combat MOSs, they will not have female commanders.
You know, here's a very easy. It's an easy way to solve.
Obviously,
right?
it's combat.
It's an easy way to solve for this, right? Would you ever send an all-female military troop over to combat anywhere where they got to survive, where a group of men gonna combat them? A whole group of all men got to fight back. I'm curious.
mean, that's specifically the opposite of what I spoke about. I said, obviously, for combat, fighting on the front lines, those should be men.
The
military has other roles that are not on the front lines.
No, Kayla,
that's not equal. That's not equal.
Let me let her know this.
What do you mean not equal? They're
not equal.
Somebody has to be the nurses.
One at a time, y'all. One at a time.
Somebody has to do it.
Okay, Kayla, let me say this, right?
And somebody has to be the engineers for the cars and for the planes. And there's so many roles in the military. They're all not fighting. Majority of them are actually not fighting.
Let me explain something to you, right? In 2003, when we went and we invaded Iraq, right? Everybody have a gun. Everybody is shooting. So before anything in the military, before you're a nurse, before you're an engineer, guess what you are first? You're an infantry soldier. You have to protect yourself. And then, so you just say this, you got a hospital, right? With all these nurses and all these, who's going to protect the hospital?
Isn't there like security? What? I see security at hospitals.
No, baby. Well, I ain't mean to call you baby. Hey, no, it's deeper than that. These engineer units that you're talking about, most of the time they have to pull their own security. Even somebody like these, and you have these special entities. You know what I'm saying? Once you get up in the ranks, but in a nutshell, when we moved and we stood in Iraq, guess what everybody became? Everybody became infantry because everywhere you drove, you was getting shot at. So if I'm Taylor in my truck and she's a lawyer or a paralegal or a nurse or a medic or whatever you want to call it, and they start shooting at us and they blow us up, and now we got to go and use basic infantry tactics, what's she gonna tell me? I'm not on the front line. I'm not supposed to do this.
Yo, if I'm the enemy and I find out it's an all female military troop over there, I'm attacking them first. I'm taking out the weak link. I'm taking out the weak link, bro. Like, I don't understand why we pick and choose. I thought y'all wanted to be equal all the way across the board. And now we picking and choose what equal look like because it's not equally beneficial, or you don't want to equally have to suffer on the other side of it. I don't understand it. I'm curious, bro. That's so
Who's
weird to
picking and
me. I see
choosing?
women fight for equal pay for equal work, but when I was working in the plant and they had the hardest job, and a job where the dude, you got to pick up an equal amount of weight, but then they pick and choose the dudes got to go in there and go in that pit and scrape that steel out. They ain't say equal all the way across the board. I'm just so sick of this equal thing, and it's so tiring. It's old. Women should not be in the same positions as men.
So do you
Not at
think
all.
the
Not even
world?
a little bit. So much so to the fact that when we see with what women on these platforms ask for, when it is that they're looking for men, they looking for a provider. They're looking for a leader. They're looking for somebody that can retire them. They're looking for women, for a man that can put them in their femininity. Okay, stay in your role in. No, but it's not. But they want all of the benefits, none of the suffering that go along with it, and it's corny.
But
So
this is the biggest thing that I want the
So
women
how
to
do you
think
think the
about, though.
country would run if all women like left the workforce, like completely?
oh, brother, what is? What
No, I
kind of
just
argument
want to
is
know
that?
if all
Hey,
women just
well,
stayed at home.
Kayla, I want you to just think of this one thing I'm finna say, right?
You're not gonna answer?
If all the women ran the country,
No, if all the women left the workforce and
We'd be
went
cool.
and
We'd
stayed
survive.
at home, how do you
We
think?
would adapt.
How do you think the country would run? Like
Better,
tomorrow?
better,
Really?
better.
I have to agree
Really?
with that point.
Yes.
You know what I
All
think?
right. Well, go
I'm
ahead and go to
thinking-
Panera and let's see how long it takes you to get your food. Like I'm just
Okay.
saying, like in reality, if women
I
left
think that we're gonna be okay. I think we're gonna be okay without Panera. I think we're gonna figure it out.
No, this is what
Yeah.
happened though.
I don't know. I think I can figure it out without a latte.
Kayla.
I don't give a fuck about Panera.
I'm talking about the whole thing, how the country runs. You're talking about your day and your life. I'm
You
talking
asked
about
the
the
question.
whole
I
thing.
said better,
What?
better.
It would run better if women
Yes.
left the workforce. I'm not
Yes.
saying women. I'm not saying men replace them.
You would
because
have more marriages. Listen,
I'm saying I'm not
Panera,
saying men
all across the
replacing
board,
them
the
because
country will
men
be
could
a better
replace
place.
them. They would.
It would be a
I'm
better
saying
place.
if women were completely out of the workforce, period.
Better.
I'm gonna say this to you, Kayla. The reason that
Okay.
you having problems in these relationships and problems in these households is because these women is taking these masculine jobs, and by default they're become masculine. Like I said, look, I didn't see this with my own eyes. And I don't blame the women, because in the jobs that they're in, they have to become masculine. You can't have these guys that can lift all this weight, that can shoot far, that can run fast, and you in charge of them, and then you can't meet that standard. So in a way, that changes that woman. That woman will start picking up these masculine attributes, and therefore it's not a masculine on and off switch you can cut off.